So after Shang, Zhou, and after a long time, hundreds of division, an emperor, Qin Shi Huang, Qin Shi Huang, founded Qing and united the whole country. It is very short. Okay, the time is very short. However, it's very important to Chinese history. So for Qing Dynasty, so here is the map of Qing Dynasty. And okay, so on the map, you can see, what is this?
Is it the Great Wall of China?
Yes, very good, the Great Wall. Okay, so have you ever heard about Great Wall in China?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, Great Wall in China. So it is okay. So actually, it is started building from. It is started to build before Qing Dynasty, but during Qing Dynasty, they built longer and higher Great Wall. And the Great Wall, the purpose of creating Great Wall, building.
Is that to protect from Mongols?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, the purpose of the Great Wall is to prevent the enemies from the north part. Nomads. Actually.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Why there is doors in the Great Wall?
What do you mean the north in the Great Wall?
Doors. There are doors in the Great Wall.
It's in the north of before. Okay, before there was other countries. Okay, there were other countries. There were wars every year, so that's why the emperor wanted to build this Great Wall to prevent the enemies. And also, the very famous tourist site in China. Have you ever seen these sculptures before?
Yeah. In Xi'an, terracotta.
Oh, very good. Okay, so you can see it in
Terracotta and terrace.
Yes, in Xi'an City. Okay, yes, Xi'an City actually was the capital of Qing Dynasty, and the Emperor Qin Shi Huang built these sculptures and buried them in his mausoleum. Actually, this army is used to protect Qin Shi Huang, to protect the emperor afterlife, because people believed that there is another world after you die. So they built these sculptures to protect himself after life. And after unifying the country, the whole country, the Qing Dynasty took some measures to improve the standardization and the centralization of the government. For example, the emperor standardized the currency, the money. Okay, because before in each state, in small countries, they used different types of money, but in Qing Dynasty, all the people in the country can only use this one. And also, they standardized the writing system. Before they wrote the characters, so they have different scripts for only one character. But then during Qing Dynasty, they standardized the writing and also the role. So after standardizing the currency and the currency, so it's easy for people from different states to do business. And after the standardization of the writing system, so it's easy for people from different states to communicate ideas. And then they standardized the road and vehicle length of the chariot out. So it's like the length of the distance between the two wheels. So then it's easy for them to travel, okay, to travel to the other places. Also, they standardize the weights and the measures. So it's easy for them, of course, do business. Okay, if, for example, some people from the north of the country want to do business with the people from the south, if they use different weights and measures, they cannot do the business. So standardization means centralization. So after standardizing everything, and the government will have more power. So not this one. Okay, so that's all for the measures. Okay, during Qing Dynasty, and after Qing Dynasty, actually Qing Dynasty is very, very short. It's only 39 years, but the Qing Dynasty laid very solid foundation for Han Dynasty. So then it followed, okay, Han Dynasty, the golden age of Han Dynasty followed after Qing Dynasty. So, so Han Dynasty includes Western Han and Eastern Han. So it's the longest lasting imperial dynasty to rule over a unified China. So before we mentioned that Zhou Dynasty is the longest, but during Zhou Dynasty it's not that stable and it's not unified. But during Han Dynasty it's unified, and it had this dynasty has influenced the identity of.
What means unified?
Unified means all the
United.
cities, all the provinces have to follow one government.
Oh.
Okay. So during Han Dynasty, there is a very important figure whose name is Zhang Qian. Okay, whose name is Zhang Qian. So we're going to watch a very short video about Zhang Qian's trip to the West. Because his trip to the west, so it's already outside of this country, okay? It's already outside of this country. And his trip to the West is very important to China's history and also to the world history. So we're going to watch the short video and pay attention to this question. What's the purpose of Zhang Qian's first trip to West? Actually, there were two trips, okay, two trips to the West, and the purpose of the two trips are different. And now we're going to watch the video, and please tell me pay attention to the first trip's purpose, okay? Is it to open Silk Road, or is it to form an alliance with a country to uproot Xiongnu? Okay, Xiongnu is another country, okay? Back then. Okay, now let's watch the video about Zhang Qian's trip to the West.